I've never played Homefront, I don't have it installed, and I have literally no plans to play it in the future. I don't know its story, who its main character is, I don't even know what mechanics it has, or even how good it is. But I can't get its goddamn trailer out of my head. It's been living in there, rent-free, for years, and I'll go insane if I don't talk about it, and if I go insane, I will die.
The torpedo that sunk the Chinook and took the lives.
The trailer opens with clips of a real-life press conference given by Hillary Clinton before 2016. In it, she confirms that a ship named the Chinook was sunk by North Korea. This serves as the inciting incident to the trailer, and it establishes the tone quite well, with the trailer being designed as if news broadcasts of the last decade had been cobbled together to form a kind of cohesive story. And just as a quick aside, it uses these VHS-like distortion and glitch effects throughout the entirety of the trailer, and I just find them so well implemented. It's such a good way to ground something as if it's realistic rather than these really polished news shots, you know? We then hear a reporter discussing North Korea's nuclear weapons program, with them having over 1,000 of them by 2011. Speaking of 2011, just look at this transition into saying what year it is. It's lovely, they do this so well. You'll see it later on in the video, it's amazing. I love it, it's the best part of the trailer. We then learn that in 2011, North Korea tests a nuclear weapon, something I'm sure they'd never do in real life. This cut to the news anchor also contributes to the authenticity and news-like feeling of the trailer. If you didn't pay close attention to the title of the video, you could almost believe this was just a real news broadcast someone had uploaded on YouTube. There's also a little foreshadowing of future events, with the news ticker warning of bailouts, spreading fires, fear in Japan and skepticism in the West. I am sure this could not happen in real life. One of the game's many true predictions then occurs, predicting the death of Kim Jong-il in 2012. In reality, he died only a couple months earlier, in December 2011. We then see that the real-life Kim Jong-un makes a speech to the UN, firmly stating that North Korea will reunite the peninsula, something they've had zero chance at in the last 70 years. Well, 1 year later we see that somehow he succeeds and the Greater Korean Republic is founded. Somehow. This already dire crisis for the US only gets worse as we hear of a previously unknown conflict, the 2015 Saudi-Iran war, which is now stalemated and caused the Middle East oil production to collapse. This causes petrol prices to spike and almost break $20. Once again, entirely fictional, cannot happen in reality, stop thinking like that. The domestic situation in the US seems to be collapsing as well, as we hear a passionate gentleman discuss his feelings on the condition of American politics and the continued rise of communism in a most eloquent and high-class manner.
The only good communist is a dead communist!
By 2017, the US's economic and political situation has deteriorated to the point that protests across the nation have to forcibly be put down, and the United States has to retreat from Japan and the West Pacific. North Korea then threatens and seizes Japan. Martial law is instituted in the United States as its financial system begins to disintegrate and stock markets collapse in 2022. I am entirely sure this could not happen in reality. An epidemic of Asian bird flu then arrives in the United States and spreads rapidly, killing 6 million, as the economy somehow crumbles further and political extremism somehow continues to rise. I've made the joke one too many times, and it's not funny anymore. It's just making me sad now, so let's move on, right? Just forget all that happened. Mexico closes its borders to American refugees after the situation deteriorates further, and North Korea takes the opportunity to seize all of Southeast Asia. We then see a different perspective, not one of a news camera or a helicopter or just even a regular person, but one hovering above the Earth. We see a North Korean satellite orbiting directly above the United States, seemingly taking the dominant position over it. We then hear a reporter talking about the satellite, saying it was launched with the intention to promote world peace. It then shuts off the entirety of the American power grid, with an invasion swiftly following. The United States appears to fall rapidly, with everything west of the Mississippi, which is now heavily irradiated, falling to Korean occupation forces. And it's now up to you, the player, to retake America and restore freedom and democracy in the world. Now, let me get something straight. This story makes absolutely no sense. Korea reunites without an explanation. I guess the South Koreans just began to like North Korea for literally no reason? Japan is taken without a fight, because you know the Japanese, they're famous for wanting to be subjugated under one of the most vicious regimes on the planet. And then, it seems as if Southeast Asia just does the same thing as well. We're not even told like, oh, they were invaded, or oh, they were threatened. We're just told through the news that they just were annexed. So I guess there's no logic then. This is partly because the original enemy in the game was supposed to be China, but they changed it to avoid being banned in China. Also, I find it extremely difficult to believe that the US would just pull out of the entire West Pacific, around Japan, Taiwan, China. Because, as we know, the US isn't really one for pulling military forces out even when they probably should. Just look at Iraq and Afghanistan, for example. There's just so many logical contradictions and things that make absolutely no sense, and yet I can't get the trailer out of my head. It's the perfect combination of that, pseudo-history you often see, where, wild conclusions are made, and yet it's combined with this perfect, real feel to it with the news broadcasts, and, the grainy VHS footage. It's just incredible. So, even if you don't want to play Homefront, and you have no intention of ever playing it, same as me, just go and watch the trailer, because I genuinely think it's one of the best trailers I've seen for a video game in a very, very long time. Especially considering how most trailers nowadays are just pre-rendered CGI shots that are found nowhere in the game, with a bit of narration over them and a bit of intense music. That's all without mentioning the consistent running gag, I suppose you'd say, that I've had throughout the video, of just how correct some of the predictions were. I mean, I'll just flash a short list over the screen right now, of just some of the predictions it got right. For a trailer from 2011, it got a lot of things shockingly correct. Even if some of the finer details are wrong, or it's maybe 1 or 2 years out, it's still got a lot right, a startling amount for a trailer from 2010. And God help us if what the rest of the trailer predicted comes to pass, with the fall of the US, an irradiated Mississippi, and the rise of North Korea as the sole global superpower. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that too much, so I hope that's one of the few predictions it gets wrong. But yeah, if you have any time, it's only about 3 minutes, the trailer, so if you have any spare time, just go and watch it. It's genuinely quite a good trailer. So, in conclusion, was Homefront a good game? I have no idea, but if I do know one thing, it has a great trailer that makes no historical sense, but nonetheless is one of the best I've seen in a very, very long time, and I will continue to think about it forever until I die. It will never leave me alone. It will live in my head forever. Please help me. Oh my god, please help me. Thank you all for watching and listening to me rant about a trailer living in my head rent-free for about 8 minutes, I think. So yeah, if you have any feedback on my audio or my editing or whatever, just tell me in the comments below. Or if you have any ideas for other videos, also leave them in the comments below. I will read them. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again some other time. Goodbye.